Well Show. What up, everybody? This is Dino Wells, episode 2, season 2 of the Dino Wells Show. Last night's show was awesome. Actually, had to get back in the groove of getting back into the podcast world, and had an awesome interview today with Miss Wynn and her compadre, and talking about my career and when the bell rings and the things I'm doing with these kids, and you know, speaking on when the bell rings again. So, hats off to them and for the interview. Hats off to my manager for setting that interview up. Hats off to my manager setting up the interview with Consciousness Magazine as well. Did that one the other day. So these interviews has been popping, been good. So I'm just now waiting on the bigger wigs to come. I want to get on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I want to get on the late night talk show. I want to get on all those shows. Steve Harvey. You know, I want to do a lot of big things. Got a lot of big things coming up anyway. My boxing team, the Lethal Warrior boxing team, is doing big things. We got a webisode on YouTube. You can check it out, or you can go to its Facebook group, which is the Dino Wells Boxing Team. It's a closed group, but you can send an invite, and we bring you on, and you can see all the good stuff going on with the boxing team. We started off with 4 fighters. We had Zach. We have Latrell Tillis, Smiley Warrior. We have Deshaun Wells, the Majestic Warrior, and then we have Ant Adams, which is the Slickster Warrior. Well, Zach, he decided to step away after week 1, focus on his football career. Little Ant stayed throughout from week 2 all the way up to week 7, and he's been absent for the last few days, going through some little issues on that end, on his family end. So I respect that, and if he decide not to come back to boxing, he's always going to be a warrior just like Zach. But we still have the 7-time reigning champion, Latrell Tillis, Smiley Warrior, on the team, and we do have the hungry Deshaun Wells, who wants to do big things as well. He's learning a lot. They're both learning a lot. They're making a lot of mistakes as well, and I just make them pay for their mistakes. Now, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes as well. They just don't capitalize off my mistakes because they're still green. But they're good. They have potential. They're going to be the next big thing coming up. I'm going to give a shout out to Rebellious Boxing, Australia/USA, for all the great things that's about to rise, and with partnerships with them. And again, shout out to my manager for working with them diligently to get things in order. There's a lot of big things that just about to happen with Rebellious Boxing. I can't really speak on it right now, but there's going to be some good things happening with that. I want to give a shout out to the families of my boxers, and all the supporters. I took time away from social media for a minute, dealing because of how my crowdfund campaign didn't make it, and I heard a lot of promises, and people said they're going to do this and do that, and they're going to help me with this and help me with that, and just didn't happen. So I keep pushing forward and doing great things when it comes to doing these casts, these podcasts. It's awesome. I love doing these podcasts. Podcasts is beast. I just would like I would like for people to understand my drive and what my drive is all about, and why am I moving forward with doing these good things like this. I want to give a shout out to Montel Griffin. Montel Griffin, the Iceman. I got a chance to spar with him a few years back, and it was like a dream come true working with that cat. you know, and it's a fun it's a fun process, working with these professionals that I admire and I look up to, just like Antonio Tarver. The guy beat me umpteen years ago, 20 something plus years ago, and I was real bitter after all that. I'm not bitter now. He's reigning world champion and he's doing his thing in the heavyweight. And he wants to do big things. That's great. I take my hat off to him. But at the same time, I wish I could just get in there and fight with him one more time. That would be awesome if I get in that ring with him and just fight one more time. But no matter, I don't have the recognition that he has. So me fighting with Roy Jones or Antonio Tarver or a Montel will be out of it unless I'm doing a charity fight or something. Yeah, I had 80 amateur fights and one professional fight. So to their slew full of professional fights and their slew full of amateur fights. And we got Olympians, you know. So Roy Jones Olympian, you got Montel Olympian, you got Antonio is an Olympian, and I would have been an Olympian if I would have kept my head in the game and didn't let the outside distractions take me. And I think about, now this one I want to tell you all too, if you have your mindset to do things and you have your goals, do not let nothing stop you from moving forward with your goals. Do not let nothing stop you, because it's your life, it's your future. You got to do it. You got to move forward. You got to get it in there. You got to do what you have to do to be successful. You have to do what you have to do to be successful, and don't let nothing deter you from your goals. Don't let it deter you from your greatness, because you're gonna regret, or you're gonna have a sense of regret years down the line. Like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that. Man, oh my goodness, I should have did this, I should have did that. And if you have that regret, then it's going to eat you for the rest of life till you carry it to the thereafter, And that's what boxing, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to just be in my 50s and 60s saying I could have been, I would have been, I should have been. That's why I just went on ahead and did it. And I still hadn't completed my goal as a fighter, as a boxer. I still have I have a lot more that I want to do, and working with my boxing team, it helps me out a lot, because I get to show them, not live my life through them, not live my dreams through them. They will have their own dream, their own journey as boxers, even if they're not with me anymore. They have their own goals and expectations and things and aspirations as amateur and professional boxers. Me teaching these young men the ways of boxing is very uplifting. Do I want to be in a ring again and fight a few more times? Yes, most definitely. But, I'm 45 years old, about to be 46. And I hadn't fought since 2012. So I would love to get in there and just win a small little title or whatever, and probably shoot for something. But, shoot for a light heavyweight title, something like that. But people say, oh, you can't do it, you can't do it. When people tell me I can't do something, that made me want to push even harder for it. But somebody had to take me serious, like how Brad took me serious when the bell rings. With that being said, I want to play some music, and just I like music that I made. I want you to check it out. This one here it's called "Dish Dish Your Mom" Part 2. Just a song that I made with Music Maker Jam. I want like for you to check it out. Yeah, that was This Your Mom Part 2, made by me with Music Maker Jam, and very interesting song. I did that because just being funny because it's a joke between my son and I. When I made that track. So, but I have some more coming up. Um, I know I spoke on this last night, and I'm not really going to talk on it too much because I'm gonna get upset. But just talking about the frequent disrespect to people of color by the law enforcement. And like I said before, not all law enforcement are bad, but we do have a lot of bad stuff going on right now with the shooting in Baton Rouge and the young man that got killed next to his girlfriend reaching for his wallet. You know, like, why would you have it? It's a trigger finger if he's in a car and he's with his woman. Why would you shoot the man thinking he's gonna take a gun out and shoot you? Like, what? You have to have some kind of common sense. I understand that there's rogues out there that want to come in and shoot the hell out you, but you making it worse on you as a cop. If you keep killing black people, you don't think somebody's gonna turn around and they're gonna just say bump the police and then they're gonna start attacking police? You know, it's just kind of crazy right now. Being in this society, knowing that you have cops that has itchy trigger fingers, and when I walk to the store, when I'm going someplace and I see a cop car drive past, I don't tense up, I don't freeze up or anything. I'm just maintaining being myself because I'm not scared of anybody or anything. But at the same time, this don't come at me twisted. And I'm still gonna be respectful because I'm not gonna give you no kind of reason to shoot me because I know you have those cameras, those dash cameras. You got your body cams, and people gonna have cameras all around the area. And I don't have, and I'm not carrying a weapon or anything. So I say I ain't carrying a weapon. I don't have no knife on me, no nothing. And if you still decide to shoot me because of your trigger finger, that's jacked up, and you should lose your job. That guy who shot Mr. Sterling should go to prison for that. Lose his job, go to prison, because that was just messed up. The guy who shot the young man that was in the car with his girlfriend, he should go to prison as well. I mean, I can understand you saw him reaching, but if you ask him for a driver's license, and that's what I was talking about last night. If you in a car and the cop got a gun on you, or he's standing on the side of you, before he pulls his gun out, or whatever the case may be, say, "Hey, my wallet is in my pocket. I'm going to reach down and grab my wallet out of my pocket and put it on the dashboard, or I'm gonna step out of the car with my hands in the air. You can dig in my pocket and get it out yourself, because I'm not putting my hand in my pocket because I'm not about to get shot by you. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. It's just you got to pick your battles. You got to pick your battles, and they're gonna keep doing it because they fearful, scary. They scary. They fearful. They're bullies. Bullies in blue. And like I said on my Facebook video, if they do that to mine, like, I'm still trying to get justice for my oldest son. You know, and that's a whole nother situation that I do not want to talk about right now, because I feel that there's some malice going on with that, and I feel there's a serious cover up with that, just because of the little evidence that I did receive. But there's nothing being done about it, and that is what it is. So how was your day so far? How's your year so far? Are you completing your goals? Are you working hard? You keeping your head up? You got to keep your head up. You got to keep moving forward, no matter what your situation is. If it's via relationship, your job, family, friends, whatever. My relationship, it's up and down. It is what it is. I'm just a Scorpio man trying to live a very spontaneous and entertaining life. You know, trying to not trying, I'm working hard to build my empire, build my legacy so I can leave something that I transcend on to the next thereafter. I can leave something for my kids and my grandkids where they can go ahead and build from that, and they can continue it going on and on and on and on. But we got to plant the seed first within our children the positive seed of nurturing, being positive, think positive, not doing anything detrimental to yourself and your family and your name, and just build. And you have to have that atmosphere around you. If you have a positive atmosphere around you, then positive things will come. But if you have negative atmosphere around you and you have stuff negative constantly being beaten to your brain, then you're gonna grow up to be negative. That person, that child's gonna grow up to be negative, and when he have kids or she have kids, that kid's gonna grow up in the same negative environment, negativity, and all that. Now, one planted seed of negativity will destroy anything positive. One seed of positivity can go into some negative, can build positivity from out of negative. It's just simple facts. I can contest. I can say. I can contest that. I can say that myself because I've been through it. When I was homeless, when I was in bad relationships, when I was with my kids' moms, all that, everything, my whole entire journey, all that. I can say that if you have one piece of negativity and you're doing something positive, will turn that positivity into something bad or destructive or not constructive or whatever the case may be. I've been there. But you could change that thought, that tune, that element into the universe or whatever your deity that you follow. One seed positive can change everything. So that's what I'm gonna say about that. I have another track I want to play. You know, I love playing music. And this one is called Go With The Flow 2 Sex Solutions. And I did that one with Music Maker Jam as well. And I'm going to play a little bit of it, let you check it out. It's only 6 minutes and 4 seconds. The other song was 4 minutes. This one is 6 minutes and 14 seconds. But I don't know if I'm going to play the full 6 minutes. But you can check it out. And if you want to listen to more of my music, you can go to Music Maker Jam. And you can check out Dr. Trackenstein. That's me. I have over 100 tracks on there, awesome tracks. I love them. I like making tracks on my downtime. I can make them in 5 minutes sometimes. You know, it's just loops. You put these loops together. If you have a good ear for music, you can make some nice sounding music. My son, he has an ear for music. He makes some good music. He's into that dubstep stuff, so he makes dubstep more than anything. I make dubstep music from time to time because I like dubstep. You know, but I'm more into love making music and movie tracks that you can dance to. More love making music than anything, cause you gotta make love. But here's the track. that was my track I made. It's called "Go with the Flow" to Sex Solutions or Sex Solutions, like solutions. Yeah, I my mind be on sometimes. I'll be making these little tracks here and there. Yep. So what do you think about politics and the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump situation, and who you think is going to be in the office when Obama leaves? Who you think is going to take office, and how you think this country going to be if Trump is in or Hillary is in? You know, me personally, I don't really speak on politics like that too much, but no matter who's in office, it's still this country is still kind of jacked up in so many ways, and I feel that people are gonna come into the office with their own mini agenda, but they still gotta play to the bigger agenda regardless. No matter who's in office, like Obama's in office, he took a lot of flack and a lot of it got took a lot of crap from both sides, and still he maintained these 8 years in the office. You know, so no matter who's in the office, the country's still gonna run the way it's gonna run, and it's still gonna everything's gonna flow the way it's gonna flow. No matter who's in office, even if Trump is in there with all his little funny ideals and things he had going on, and if Hillary's in office with all her little shenanigans, so it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. People say, "Oh, don't say that. It's not gonna be that way. Things gonna change or whatever, whatever." You know, like I say, I don't follow politics that much anymore because it's kind of annoying. It's like more like a spectacle more than anything, just to see all the foolishness that's going on with it. So I try to just live my life and try to be an upstanding citizen. That's pretty much it. And just teach my boys to be the same way and just do my entertainment thing and you know and I still watch the news from time to time. It's just all the violence is annoying, but I want to see more positive stuff happening in the communities and news. When I hear about my home city, when I hear about Chicago, I want to hear about the greatness that's going on in Chicago. I don't want to hear about um, the killings and stuff going on. I want to hear about what kids are doing for their community. I want to hear what businesses are doing for their community. I want to hear what people are doing for their community. I don't want to hear about Joe Blow blowing Moke Moke head off because he got mad about something or whatever the case may be. I don't want to hear that stuff. Yes, it's happening in the neighborhoods. Yes, if you turn on the news, they're gonna talk about 3 killings, 3 deaths, 3 stabbings, and a shooting before they talk about anything good. You know, and that's kind of annoying. That's why I don't even watch news much. I go online and I look at blogs and things and such forth, but we're systematically in place looking at blogs and vlogs and things like that instead of watching the news. But I try to watch my share of the news, but I try to I I turn away from when they talk about the murders and all that. But if it's something interesting, I say, okay, we have a serial killer in the neighborhood. I need to know about that. So I will watch the news from time to time, but I look at Facebook, I look at BuzzFeed and all the social media outlets and things, and I look at CNN online. Um, I look at the AP reports and all the stuff like that. I check that stuff out to make sure and focus on what's going on in the world, just to keep abreast of what's going on. But at the same time, just don't focus too much on the negative energy. If you put too much negative energy in your aura, you're gonna bring more negativity into your world. So I try to keep all that negative energy at a minimum, big time, at a minimum. Yeah. So that's another lesson. Keep negative energy at a minimum to none in your drive to the next level. Yes. Now I have one more song I want to play before I get out of here. It's 6 minutes and 9 seconds. It's called The Look Back. The Look Back. That's what it's called. It's Orgasmic is the subtitle. Yes, I told you when I make these tracks, I make tracks about love making, something that you can make love to, because love making is key to procreation. So, you want to check out The Look Back. the look back. I didn't want to play all of it. That's just a little, give you a little teaser of it. So that's a look back. Got 12 minutes left on the show. You know, my shows are random. I can speak on anything. I really don't have any base topics or anything when I come on. I just go with the flow, what's on my mind, and I speak on it. I may have some base topics from time to time and sit down. I was thinking about making this a more of an interview-based um, podcast. Sometimes I might want to get some interviews in. I'm thinking about doing that. Have some people call in and, and we just talk, and talk about life. I should do that. I like talking to myself and letting people hear my voice and get it out there, I guess it's a good thing. It's a great thing. I want to give shouts out to some people. I'm going to give shouts out to Trish Jackson. I'm going to give a shout out to her because she's been the sole life source of my return to boxing. She's been the life source of me surviving here in Louisiana. And she's been a headache from time to time, but at the same time, she's still a good people. Wholesome, smart, great person. I want to give a shout out to Brad Boris for taking on my life story to film When the Bell Rings. That was awesome. I have nothing. I can't say nothing bad about it. It was. The whole process of When the Bell Rings was, it was an eye opener, a tear jerker. Yep. I want to give a shout out to my children. I want to give a shout out to my children. Rest in peace to my son Orlando. Shout out to Deshaun, Abaya, and Desmond, and Destiny, and Angel. Yeah. DeMarcus and Daquan. They're not my children, but, I still give them a shout out as well. I'm going to give a shout out to a close friend of mine who I've known since I was a little young, sort of a crush of mine at one point. I want to give a shout out to Nicole Snedeker, aka Nikki, and the Snedeker family. I want to give a shout out to Alicia Davis. I want to give a shout out to Lisa Forte, or Forche, or Fortier, but Forche. I want to give a shout out to Erica Holcomb, Darnley Edgehill. I want to give a shout out to Ben Kane, Mike Kane, Andrew Blood, Joe Andalero, my Prison Break alumni, second team alumni, Brian Brakefield, my battle buddy, all my friends that was my 19 Delta Calf Scout friends, Disney Barracks, second platoon. I want to give shout out to everyone who supports When the Bell Rings and all the great things that I have going on. Tanya Kersey, my career coach. I want to give a shout out to my first agent, which is Kendall Carell. I want to give a shout out for him for the work that he gave me, that he got me to get to this point, which was awesome. My acting coach, I want to give a shout out to him as well. He's a hard-working man, doing this thing out here. When I see stuff being filmed in New Orleans, he's in most of the stuff that's being filmed in New Orleans, and I'm like, man, I want to get work like that. But you got to put in that hard time, that drive in it. I want to give a shout out to Felicia Scrub. I want to give a shout out to Denise Osborne, Lisa Wilburn. Those three ladies have a certain point and position in my life to make me to where I'm at today. I want to give a shout out to Pam Boris, which is the mother of Brad, and Mr. Boris himself, who created Brad. You know what I mean? I want to just give a shout out to Boris family. I'm gonna give a shout out to Something Creative, Meta World Peace for taking on when the bell rings. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have no more shout outs right now. I probably have a lot more shout outs, but I don't want to bore y'all to death with shout outs like, oh, I don't want you to sleep on me. But other than that, I'm gonna come up with some more topics and more things to come. You know, the season two, I had to make it better than season one, and by me being 2 episodes in, I have to really step it up. So, with that being said, I want you to follow me on Twitter at Dino Wells, Instagram Dino_Wells. My YouTube is Mr. Dino Wells. Movine Dino Wells. I'm everything. Online it's all Dino Wells or the real Dino Wells. You Google me, Dino Wells, you might see David Dino Wells Jr. That's me as well. My IMDb, David Dino Wells Jr. I'm everywhere, even on MySpace, and that's not even that's some old stuff. I'm not even there. So just check me out. Leave me some messages. Send me an email, dwelljr@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let's converse, chop it up. If you want me to speak at an event, you contact my manager. Her name is Kaiser. You can catch her on Facebook, or she's in my Facebook. You contact my manager, and we can get it in that way. With that being said, you all have a wonderful and prosperous day.